Welcome back to Talking Paranormal. I'm Chris, that's Matt, and we're going to talk all sorts of fun, strange, wacky things tonight.
As always.
As always, time travel.
Yes.
Time travel is one of those subjects that I love to talk about and, you know, question because I think it's possible. And I believe it's been scientifically proven to be possible. The question is, uh, do we have the technology to do it? Have we already been doing it? Like, there's so many questions, and I don't know. I feel like somebody out there has the answers. Unfortunately, they're not sharing them with us, Matt.
Man, the problem of it is like if they shared it, who all would abuse it?
Oh my god. That's honestly, I was doing a lot of research on this stuff. I was looking at the people that have claimed to be time travelers and all that bull. I don't buy any of it. I don't.
Oh, I love the folks that are all over TikTok like in 30 days this will happen.
Yeah.
I am a time traveler and this is real.
If you throw enough shit at the wall, it'll stick.
Eventually something's going to stick.
I mean, look at The Simpsons. They've been predicting all sorts of shit. I'm like, they just think of the wackiest shit and they just throw it at the wall and it sticks.
I mean, that's true. They're probably like, what's the most random shit we could say is going to happen?
I know Trump will be president. No, that would never happen. That'd be perfect. Let's
Never
put it
in a million
cartoon.
years. And then here's the thing though, did they predict it or did Trump, being the troll that he is, recreate that scene shot for shot?
I want to say troll.
I want to say he trolled their asses.
I think he trolled them. God, that was so funny. But yeah, time travel. What a fun subject. To be honest, I didn't really even consider it until I saw Back to the Future when I was a kid, and then I was like, wait a second. I had a hard time not believing that if I got a DeLorean, it could travel in time. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, so hi everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us once again. Lance in the chat said like Nostradamus. Yeah, that guy. He was so vague with his predictions.
Yeah, he was pretty vague. He's like, it's the same thing as the guys on TikTok. They're like, I'm being really vague about this. Now, I will say, Dave Chappelle. I can't say what he had, but it was the play on Notre Dame on the Chappelle show.
Oh, yeah, I probably don't want to say that one.
Yeah, I can't say that one. But oh man, that was.
Oh, that's funny.
Like that was great. But I mean, no, Notre Dame. Some of the stuff he said is pretty wild and pretty out there. But I mean,
that's not time travel. That's just predicting. Predicting is like it's kind of like psychics. I want to believe psychics. I really do, or mediums. Not all of them. But I want to believe that there are people out there that are sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of these paranormal shows, I've seen some things. Now, of course, it is TV. They claim we don't give these people any information, and some of these mediums have been pretty accurate with things that they couldn't have possibly have known unless they had pre-researched or somebody filled them in, which could be possible. It is TV.
It could be. I mean, I don't want to say it is. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Is my audio coming through okay?
Yeah, I got you perfect.
Okay, then I'm not gonna worry about switching over to my phone. I was running a little behind today, guys. Dude, I'm not a vodka guy. Oh,
yeah, I don't like vodka either.
Oh, I'm not a vodka guy. I am a Jack Daniels man.
One of the notes that I had to keep me in line tonight was the repercussions of time travel and the shit that could go wrong.
See, like somebody's already saying in the chat, they'd go back and change a couple of things. How do you know changing even those couple of things won't completely adjust, like change your trajectory, and it comes out worse?
Well, there are different theories, and I have a couple videos that'll explain some of them tonight, but one of them, and they've been theorizing this for a long time as far as time travel goes, that if you go back in time and you change something, that it doesn't necessarily work out in your favor because it will just create an alternate dimension and a whole different timeline.
Yeah.
So if you think you can go back in time and kill your grandpa or whatever, and we're gonna watch a video that kind of goes into some of those theories and stuff. But
Do you say be your own grandpa?
kill your own grandpa.
Oh, kill your own grandpa.
Yeah. The grandpa paradox comes up in a lot of the. I did a lot of research on this to try to get an idea of, because I've always believed that it would be possible eventually if we don't have the technology already. It's got to be possible in the future. Another note I wrote was aliens. They could very well be time travelers, and the vast distances, unless we've been lied to and they're in our solar system, the vast distances they would have to travel is nearly impossible. Unless they're like us, we sent out Voyager, Voyager 1 and 2, and they've been out there forever,
Yeah.
decades. Who's to say that these aliens didn't send drones out 1,000,000 years ago, and those are what are finally reaching us? But this, you get into the ancient alien stuff and with the gods coming down, and I feel like a civilization that can make it here probably is so advanced that they have a way to alter space-time to be able to travel those vast distances. But the question of whether or not time travel is real, it's absolutely real. I don't think that time is fixed. And I say that because I watched a video on this experiment where this mathematician took a quantum clock, right? He took 2 of them. And the theory was that at sea level, the clock would go. But if you were to take it 6,000 feet in elevation, there would be a difference in time just based on the distance and gravity and all that shit. And I was like, what? And sure as shit, the experiment was in California. Even the mountain that they climbed was in California. So after, I think it was a few days or something like that, they bring it back down. And I'll be damned if the clock wasn't off a couple nanoseconds. So that proves time travel right there, period. Time is not fixed. Same with astronauts at the space station. They actually have to dial their clocks to meet Earth's because they're traveling so fast that their clocks are off if they were just to leave them. If you were to have a watch on you and you're timed on Earth and then you go up into the space station, at a certain point in time, you will be off.
Yeah.
And they're saying that if you go almost the speed of light, like there's a couple videos. I'm an idiot, so I can't sit here and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But I made sure to queue up a couple videos to give you a general idea that time isn't exactly fixed like we would like to believe. It's
so. Do you know how fast the Earth is rotating?
Oh God, what is it? 33,000 miles an hour?
I think it's just 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we're already like our state of matter is already moving 1,000 miles per hour.
Sure.
So, like I was watching this one video and they said, what would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped? And it was catastrophic. Like, because I mean, the sudden stop would move everything that's already doing 1,000 miles per hour. Anything not bolted down is going flying.
Interesting.
And everything, yeah, it's wild. And like one half of the Earth boils, the other half freezes.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no movement. The sun keeps baking on one side forever.
That's true. So if the Earth just stopped, how would that affect our gravity? It wouldn't, right?
I think I think gravity comes from the spinning.
I thought you were a doctor, Matt. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have the doctor up today.
National gravity. I said 33,000 miles an hour.
Chris has got us going mock Jesus.
I was only off 32,000 miles an hour. Jesus Christ. My God.
So I would think gravity would be pretty much null and void at that point.
Yeah.
Like there'd be a little bit from like I mean, like if we stop spinning, I'm pretty sure what the video said was the like the magnetic shielding around the planet that's caused naturally would disappear. I mean, it'd be some crazy shit.
Interesting. I'm gonna start. Like, I was late this morning because I had to work today, and I usually don't work the weekends,
Mm-hmm.
and I was super late, and I'm gonna start using that as an excuse. Like, I was driving and I hit a time shift, and all of a sudden, oh, and
I
I'm
went
like,
from 1,000 to 999.
"What are you calling me a fucking liar?" Oh man, um, yeah, that's wow. So Dutch guy says the east side of Michigan has a huge windmill thing going on. Did some research on that this week. Tip of them windmills were going 180 miles an hour. So the propellers or whatever.
Yeah.
And they look about 15 miles an hour on the ground. Yeah, that's crazy. I never realized they were going that fast. Holy shit.
Well, because a lot of the thing is you don't realize how big those fuckers actually are.
Yeah, it takes one entire semi that's an oversized load to haul one blade.
Yeah.
I looked into that because back when I first started truck driving, I was looking into driving those things around, and I didn't realize how big they were.
There's a plant
Insane.
in Kansas that makes the blades.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're ginormous.
Have you ever seen one of them things fail?
And explode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
outrageous amounts of damage.
Yeah. It's amazing how many wind farms there are in the United States.
And that they aren't, and amazingly enough, they don't generate anywhere near enough energy.
I know, right? My wife works for the power company here in Washington, and it's crazy shit. But yeah, Matt, what do you think about time travel? Do you think it's real?
I mean,
do you think it's possible? It has to be, right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
I would imagine that we're looking at more of like a time cop situation.
Mm.
Where it's probably a distant future thing.
Yeah.
But like not as distant as that distant future thing makes it sound. Like it's going to come down to, I mean, it's going to have to be regulated. It's going to have to be controlled. You know what I mean? Like it can't be just like a go on vacation in 1990 Coachella. You know what I mean? It can't be something like that. It's got to be.
And you would think that, okay, if time isn't just fixed, then there's already a future. You know what I mean? The future's already happened, right?
Yeah.
So they would have already invented it and come back, right? I mean, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Unless there's some sort of laws against it or regulations. I mean, there would have to be. And you know as well as I do that the U.S. government would definitely try. And, there's some conspiracy theories out there that they have been messing with time. There's conspiracy theories that say the only reason why we won World War II is because they were messing with time. The Cold War messing with time.
No, we won World War II because Sam Elliott got him.
Right.
And then he went and killed Bigfoot.
It's just, man, it's really a mind melting topic when you get into I was listening to astrophysicists and like my mind was just fried. I had to stop after a while. I was like, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. But they're talking about wormholes, and if you're in a black hole, they think that the black hole is the key to time travel because it bends space time. But the thing is, if nobody's been into a black hole, we don't know what would happen. We're assuming that we would get torn apart atom by atom. You know what I mean? So I mean, gosh, I don't know. Maybe in the future they figured it out, but I mean, we can barely get to the bottom of the ocean without being crushed by the weight of the ocean. You know what I mean? Let alone going into a black fucking hole. So,
hey, Scott, are you talking about the Hitler reacts to Chuck Norris, or what are you talking about? Have you ever seen those, Chris?
No.
Hitler reacts. Oh my god! So somebody took the scene from, I think it's the Tom Cruise movie Valkyrie.
Okay.
And changed the subtitles to Hitler reacting to different things. Because it's a part where towards the end of the movie where Hitler's like just freaking out and chewing out his his most trusted guys. And there's one where they did he reacts to Chuck Norris coming. And it's just that's what Scott's talking about. It's just pure gold.
That's funny. All those make me laugh.
Oh man, every single one. I never saw a bad one.
Yeah, they're all funny. We'll talk a little bit more about time travel later on. I've got, like I said, I got a couple videos queued up for that, but we've got a bunch of videos to review. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Matt, you sent me this one. I thought was interesting. I want to believe so bad, but I just don't know. Check this out. Alleged giant skeleton wrapped in a snake.
Wrapped up fighting a snake. So I mean, that would be. I mean, if it's fossilized or whatnot, that would be a giant doing battle with a titanoboa.
Yes, yeah, that's correct. Also, I mean, I doubt that the giant was like, "Hey, snake, why don't you wrap me up and we'll just lay here and just die in this position."
I mean, they could have
That
killed each other in the fight.
could be. I'm leaning more towards ancient cataclysm, instant death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be possible. That let's just say that this video was real. The U.S. government would never let it get widespread. What's being said in the chat? What am I missing?
What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Are you talking about European or African?
But the U.S. government, I don't think, would ever allow actual proof of something like that to be mass released. I think it would.
I'm going to disagree because.
Don't you ever disagree with me, Matt?
First of all, I've been dropping knowledge since episode 1. I can say what I want.
I know. You've earned it. You've earned it at this point.
No, I disagree. Just due to the fact of they'd want to get out there because, I mean, the video is good. It looks good. It looks like it's not messed with. But at the same time, it's TikTok, and somebody could easily just be like, oh, yeah, no, they faked it. It's a fake video. You know what I mean? So it helps them.
For sure.
Keep
yeah, that's true. If they allowed it.
Helps.
You're never going to see it on CNN, though. You're never going to get those assholes to be like, oh, look at this. Giants have been discovered. You'll never see that shit on CNN.
No.
That's why I was so suspect when they started releasing UFO shit on all the major news channels. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Oh, no, yeah, that was sketchy.
I will never stop saying how sketchy that was. But definitely an interesting video. I wish there was more than just a TikTok on it, though.
I know.
I would be a horrible, like, if I was a producer for Discovery, I'd be seeing all this weird shit and be like, all right, we're going over there now. We got to find out. We got to get to the bottom of this. But interesting video. Would love more background. This is also very interesting. Matt, you sent this to me as well. A giant cave filled with cave drawings of animals from the Ice Age that were allegedly extinct by the time humans started walking around. Except for mastodons. I believe there was Neanderthals with mastodons. That said Amazon, right? Was it?
Yeah, that's in the Amazon. The thing about it is we're just now starting to rediscover a lot of stuff in the Amazon after all the civilizations wiped out. We've been talking about this before.
Yeah. LiDAR, man. That laser shit that they can take of the earth and, see structures that the canopy of the rainforest covers. You can't even see it from a plane. You have to use LiDAR technology to be able to see
the ground penetrating radar.
Or ground penetrating radar
is phenomenal. Like, all the new technology they're using to investigate this stuff is just killer.
I wonder, there's got to be some sort of government regulations on that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Because
absolutely. Like, I've been doing the studying to do the drone license test, and man, there's a lot of rules I didn't know even existed. So I mean,
really, name one crazy one.
If you don't have a license, you can't fly over 400 feet up.
Okay.
And then if you don't have a license, you also can't fly over cars and people.
Okay.
You can't.
That makes sense. I don't want some asshole out there with a drone that doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, the license has nothing to do with how well you can fly. It just has to do with you knowing the rules and regulations.
Oh shit! You don't have to like take a basic like drone pilot class.
I don't think so. So
Huh.
far, from what I've seen
Wow,
in it, no.
that's
It's a
crazy.
knowledge. It's a knowledge test, not a skills test.
Interesting. But I mean, I wonder what's preventing. Like, I wonder if you need a permit to do some lidar shit. Just you're
I
just flying over.
imagine.
Like,
I imagine. Yes, you do. I would think so. But then also, it's extremely expensive to get your hands on.
if I ever get rich, I'm gonna remember we were talking about the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases,
Yeah,
like the one in Dulce, where they
yeah.
could just where the alien battle took place. What
Look,
if
I
somebody
guarantee
just
you, we go and try to ping that place with some lidar or something.
could
We're
you
shot out
imagine?
of this. We're shot out of the sky.
Oh my god.
That place would pick up a radar ping like nobody's business.
See, we'll get the machines. We'll go to Home Depot. We'll pick up a couple amigos, and we'll go. All right, this is how you operate this shit. We're gonna
Oh
be over
Jesus,
here. We're gonna be over here. You just press the start button. Oh man.
man!
Oh, it's okay. I can say that, folks. Don't worry. Yeah. This, could you imagine if somebody actually managed to pull that off? Because I mean, would they be able to sense that somebody's sticking something into the ground? And like, I don't. I guess I don't understand the technology and how it works, but lidar, it seems like you just fly over a place and it can, check shit out.
Well, the
So,
ground stuff, it's sound vibrations. It's like echolocation,
okay,
into the ground, and it just picks up different densities and stuff like that.
interesting. I wonder how deep they
Uh,
have to go. Hmm.
like I sent you one tonight. I know you probably don't have it queued up, but they're studying Lake Tahoe.
I have that queued up.
Oh, you do? Okay, I'm not gonna ruin it then.
Yes, don't ruin it. Actually, let's jump to that one right now. Fuck it.
And yes, they did. That sounds just like mammal echolocation from whales and dolphins.
In Lake Tahoe. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Like, obviously, there's a mammal down there, or mammals,
I mean, I say mammal, but I mean, as far as I know, I don't know of any fish that use echolocation.
right? Like, no trouts out there.
It's the incredible Mr. Limpet.
yeah, right. Um, very, very interesting. I'm still obsessed with the ocean. I can't get over it. There was some kid in Australia. Now, our Aussie friends might be able to speak on this. Some kid goes out at night, goes into the ocean, not even up to his knees, and just stands there for about half an hour in the freezing cold water. And it's so cold that his legs go numb, right? He's in there for half an hour. He walks out of the water, looks down, and his legs are bloody, like he's been attacked. Okay. Apparently, the ocean has these little parasites, and they got him, and he didn't even know. And his legs were so bloody, like it was brutal. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of this. I can't imagine the guys in Australia don't know about this. Australian kid gets legs eaten. Let me see here. Yep, here we go. Let me pull this up. Share screen. I was like, what? And apparently there's these like organisms. I forget what they're called. But they put like a pig carcass in the water in a cage, and like all these like they look like sea fleas or something just swarmed it, and it was gone all the way down to the bones in like 2 or 3 days. But this creeped me the hell out. Look at this. Pull this over here. So, teenage boy left with profusely bleeding legs after being eaten by tiny sea creatures. Right? Let me see if they show any more. No, they don't really show pictures. Let me play. I want to play this. I haven't heard or seen this one yet. Of course, stupid ad. But his legs were like profusely bleeding. It was crazy. Oh shit! What did I just do?
Yeah, there was a lot of blood. Yeah, it kept bleeding for quite a while, and it's still oozing out now. But yeah, it just wouldn't stop when we were hosing it down, so we decided to go to the hospital. Yeah.
So his dad goes back the next night, right, and puts like some meat in the water, and that's what that little jar was. He got these things immediately, and apparently, it may have happened during the full moon, and these things may only come out like to the surface like that, like close to land during a full
Yeah,
moon.
well, I
It's
walked out of the
crazy.
water, saw what I thought was sand covering my ankles and lower calf. So I just shook it off quite violently, and it came off. And by the time I'd walked across the sand about 20 meters to put my thongs on, I looked down and noticed that I had blood all over my ankles. I didn't really know what to think of it. It was a bit of a shock and a bit of a random thing to see. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. I didn't want to go inside the house
That's
with
nothing.
blood all over my feet, so I called
His legs
mum and dad
were
on my phone
like,
from out
it
front
looked like a
door,
horror movie.
and
It was
they
crazy.
came downstairs, and my dad sort of just gave me this funny stare, and I gave him a stare because we both just had no clue what was going on.
Oh, they're not going to show a picture of his
and
legs.
So we went inside to the bathroom and rinsed it off in the shower. Yeah.
Let me see if there's a picture. I wonder if that would get us kicked off YouTube, because it's very, very.
Oh wow! Is that not it in the very first one?
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at that. Oh, let me see here. But yeah, so that is just gnarly. So he walks out of the ocean and his legs are like that after just being in there for half an hour, and because it was so cold, he couldn't feel them eating his flesh.
I mean,
that's the ocean, folks. That's the ocean.
Here's how I look at it. I look at it like this. That is that thing's home.
Yeah, for sure.
And you just want to go play in their home.
And you just went and stuck your dirty, nasty, stinky foot fungi up in their house, and they said, "Not today." What are those size 10s? What are those size 10s? They're size 9s now.
And then like people that get upset about shark attacks, like, I just don't know why the sharks attack. you were in their home.
Yeah, and sharks don't even like to eat people. I think they're just trying to prove a point. Like, hey, bitch,
like my house.
I'll teach you a lesson.
If you notice, a lot of things don't like eating us because I guarantee you, we taste awful from all the shit we eat.
Good luck coming back to the ocean swimming with one arm. Man, yeah. Every time I see, have you seen? I was gonna say every time I see shark attack victims, I'm just like, Jesus, man. That's why I don't fuck with the ocean.
And then, but then you gotta love these people because they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get back in the water. What?
Yeah. Okay. Have you seen the pictures of the sharks that have giant bites out of them? I think they're orca whales that are doing it, but it's bad. Could you imagine being a badass great white and then having some go, oh yeah, cool, and just eat your lunch, dude?
Just cruising. Like 16 foot, not really worried about nothing. You just ate an elephant seal, and then an orca whale just murks your ass.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I think the ocean's the scariest place on earth. There, I said it. As a matter of fact, when we go ghost hunting, if we're in the scariest place on land, I'm gonna go, hey, at least we're not in the ocean right now. There ain't no sharks in this bitch. Maybe a couple spiders and shit. That's about it. Peckerwood says, I've been marinated in bourbon for years. I probably taste awesome.
You know what? You probably do, man.
Touche. All right, let's get back to some of these videos. I forget what this one is. Is this one mine or yours? I don't know. Let's watch it.
Okay, so there's two main
Okay. I'd like to preface this by saying
I love the instant regret. Oh, that's mine.
I saw this and I was just like, that's kind of weird. And we play a lot of ghost shit on here. I want to get into like conspiracies and just weird shit. And I thought this was super strange. I want to get your guys' take on it.
Okay, so there's two main conspiracy theories circulating around south of the border. The first one is money laundering, and I definitely got a lot of comments about this one. For a lot of folks that visited this place, it seemed like they were the only ones there. So how can they stay in business? Money laundering sure would answer that. Take, for instance, their sticker sales. Pretty easy way to wash your money when you're charging 5 to 10 cents a piece, and then you can claim that you're selling them for $5 to $10 a piece. The second theory is that they are in the trade of substances. Now, location-wise, this actually makes quite a bit of sense given that south of the border is just about the halfway point between New York and Florida. And of course, there's plenty of other conspiracies surrounding this place, like this place, the Hideaway, being a gambling ring. But that's all they are, theories. I'll leave you with this little creepy soundbite.
Have you ever heard of that place?
No,
Neither have I.
but it's
That
East Coast, man. I don't.
It's East Coast, and it's just, I mean, when he's like, yeah, it seemed like they were the only ones in there, and I'm like, yeah, because they sell bullshit. Like, what that? But he made a good point. They say they sell these stickers by the honor system for 5 and 10 cents, but they could easily just say, yeah, we sell those for 10 and 20 bucks a piece, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
it
most-
looks
most
shady
te-
as fuck. It looks shady.
most
as fuck.
Tex-Mex restaurants are money laundering facilities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, who's?
Those are some big allegations there, buddy.
Hey, man, I'm just
Those are-
saying.
Those are some huge allegations.
Look, I don't care. I'll go eat a quesadilla. I don't care. Do what you gotta do. I'm all about the American dream. You gonna make that money? Make that money. But just keep giving me my quesadilla.
I still think there's a conspiracy around Olive Garden. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Italian mob.
The day I walk into an Olive Garden and see the Italian mob at like a back table or somewhere in like one of the back rooms. More breadsticks. More breadsticks.
You come to me on this day of my daughter's breadstick eating.
Oh man, I used to deliver produce, and I delivered to. I probably shouldn't say that about Olive Garden. Never mind. Enjoy their food. I don't eat there anymore. I'll say that. Next video.
Bitches suck my dick, cut my swag on 100. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio.
I didn't watch that one all the way through when you sent it to me. I said, "Oh, cool, eye shine. Let's play that one." Oh man.
I mean, to their credit, it was a suit that had eye shine, so I don't know, but I mean, I crack up on anything that is somebody running to throw hands with supernatural entities.
I still, every once in a while, it makes me laugh when I think about it to this day. But when we brought up, like, I think it was you that was saying nobody's ever been killed hoaxing as Bigfoot, and I was like, actually, it's funny you say that. Somebody
That
has
was
been,
like-
and then you're like, I remember.
That was like episode 1, if I remember right.
But what if you were hoaxing Bigfoot, right? And then you actually ran into Bigfoot, and he's like, "Oh hell no, bitch."
Bro, I mean, it's a bad day for you.
Could you imagine? He just grabs him like, "Oh hell no," with that weak ass suit, bitch, and just starts bitch slapping you. Oh man, how embarrassing!
Just start slapping you around.
Oh my god!
Get in my cave and make me dinner. Weak ass shit. Okay, somebody asked me what I thought of Project Serpo.
Project Serpo.
Looks like it's a planet kind of thing. I haven't heard of Serpo, but
Oh, is this about the soldiers that went to the planet? Is that
I
what we're
think
talking about here?
I think so. Give me a little bit to look into this over this next week, guys, and I will talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit next week.
Who asked about that? Was that Dutch?
It probably was.
Fucking Dutch.
Yes, it was Dutch.
Project Serpo, I believe, Dutch, correct me if I'm wrong, was their interplanetary, like they were sending, apparently we have military on other planets. I believe that's what Project Serpo is, but this was a specific thing, I believe. I know okay, yes. Fuck, I'm good. I'm fucking good. I don't know if that means I'm good or if I'm actually just fucking nuts that I know all this fucking weird shit. Dutch is way crazier than I am, though. I'll say that. So you got me, Dutch. Yeah, Project Serpo. We definitely need to look into that.
Yeah, let me look into that, and we'll talk about it.
Dutch, I haven't even thought about Project Serpo in years. That is awesome that you brought that up. Thank you. It's funny that these, topics get brought up because do you guys know about the conspiracy iceberg? Have you heard of it?
Iceberg.
The conspiracy iceberg.
I've heard about it a little bit, but fill me in, my man.
Oh man, I have a TikTok queued up for it because I was like, that's what this show is. It's the fucking conspiracy iceberg. We just go deeper and deeper. So that's coming up here in a couple videos. So let's just keep it pushing. This is gonna rile some of you guys up because it might have to do with some flat things.
The Earth might be bigger than we thought. For years, people have debated over the shape of the Earth, if it is round or flat. Now, this might just all be a conspiracy, but what if the Earth had more than just 7 continents? And Antarctica was just a giant ice wall that kept us from seeing the rest of the continents? What if once you made it past the ice wall, you'll find the 20 continents that are really being hidden from us? And what if there was a map that showed this? There are theories that these continents contain prehistoric animals, aliens, and advanced civilizations, and that the 7 continents that we are living in is actually a giant farm or business owned by a small handful of families that make up the filthy rich in the real world, or in the other continents that we don't know about. That is why.
We've talked about this before, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yes, I'm going to do some more research because I want to know where those maps came from. I want to know who made the maps because they're naming shit like Lemuria. I've heard of that one, and it would be super interesting because it would explain why the government hides so much shit. Because if we get in too deep, we'll know their secret.
It's because they're middle management,
right? What if it is a globe? Okay, we all think it's a globe, right? But what if it's way bigger than we thought?
Their middle management and tax season is the pizza party.
Could you imagine? Oh my god, how pissed would you be if you found out these fuckers have been lying to us? The Earth is huge and there's way more shit.
I'd be more pissed if I found out that that we were just employees without realizing we're employees. Like we're just moving, like we're just the guys that help make their microchips.
Right? My god. But I saw that and I was like, God, I need to do some more research on this because I don't want to go. I've seen enough flat Earth shit. I don't want to get into that. And we're eventually going to cover it on this show because I think it's fun.
I thought we already did.
We really didn't. We covered Hollow Earth. We did Hollow Earth.
Right. That's right. We did Hollow Earth.
I'll do Flat Earth when I have enough shit where it's like, okay, it's not all laughable. I want to get because I've seen some shit where I'm like, if you really wanted to believe, you could believe that shit. But I'm more into the conspiracy part of it where, all right, let's just say it is flat. Why would they hide it from us? Why do they not want us to know that it's flat? So that's the kind of shit I'm interested in. This kind of touches on that a little bit, but I still think it's a globe. However, I'm open-minded to the idea that maybe there is an ice wall, and maybe on the other side are other continents. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Unless you've been there yourself. Unless you fucking went to Antarctica, fucking walked all the way across that bitch and ran into the other ocean. You said, "Oh, okay." So, unless you've done that, then I can't sit here and say that I know 100% the truth,
Yep. Yeah.
That's like, I ran into a video where it was a guy, super sketchy looking dude, right? But they were talking to him about cryptids in the ocean. And he was saying, hey, we haven't even, we've explored like 1% of the ocean. So for anybody to say that there's not any sea monsters out there is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You can't say that because we haven't explored the whole fucking thing. And he's right. So anybody that says, oh no, there's no such thing as sea monsters, bullshit. Okay, what's this one? It's bad when you forget.
This scientist invented a way to see the astral realm.
In my defense, I just want to say I watched 2 seconds of this one and I was like, oh, well, I guess we'll just roll the dice.
This scientist invented a way to see the astral realm. In the 1920s, a scientist by the name of Walter Kilner poured a blue-colored dye called dicyanin onto a glass screen in hopes of creating night vision goggles. After putting it on, he realized it blocked out most of the white light, allowing humans to see the aura of each other. The chemical was made illegal, but the military were quick to weaponize it, creating the first pair of night vision goggles. However, during the Vietnam War, when this piece of technology was handed out to the helicopter pilots, chaos soon followed. The pilots started firing on each other, claiming that they were firing at demons that were coming to get them, describing the experience as looking into hell. The officer in charge didn't believe it at first, but subsequently every time the goggles were used, similar events took place. Eventually, the officers and pilots were told not to use the goggles ever again, but it got many thinking if
what? If what?
That went a completely different direction than I thought it was going to. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to do some more research on that because that sounds crazy.
That sounds like a good time.
That sounds like a good time. I mean, I've seen some demons in my time, but I never had to put on goggles. What do we got here in the chat? What's going on? God, you guys are busy tonight. What is happening?
Polly moved from worker status to actually commenting.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
We've got nine in here. I wonder who's not saying anything. Well, welcome.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, we're having a good time here as usual. I wish I had more liquor because this show would be so much funner for me. It's fun as it is, but I have a little bit of whiskey. It's just fun to talk about this crazy shit. I love it.
I'm just over here like
oh shit. Okay. Let's talk about the conspiracy iceberg.
This is the conspiracy theory iceberg. At the top you have the more well-known theories like Area 51 and cryptozoology, and towards the bottom you have much more insane and complex theories. In the next few months I'm going to attempt to do each and every one of these that TikTok will allow me to do, so if you're a fan of the weird mysterious, then hit the follow button and we will learn some crazy stuff.
So the conspiracy iceberg is the conspiracies from, ones that everybody knows, all the way to the craziest shit you could possibly imagine.
Okay.
And I like where that guy's going. I'm actually going to follow his TikTok from now on because I want to see what he's going to talk about, because I've seen the shit on, and now there's a bunch of different ones, but I'm pretty sure that's one that I've seen before. They get into some shit, dude. Like, you want some clickbait shit, you go to the bottom of that iceberg, and you're gonna get into some shit.
You gonna learn today.
Yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be a little hard to sleep, but that's okay. What's at the bottom of the conspiracy iceberg? Oh my gosh. Give me a few minutes. when these videos over here are playing, I'll pull up some ones on the bottom. You guys are gonna get a kick out of them. Let's see here. What else do we have? Okay, let's get into some time travel. Let's see. Okay, we've got two TikToks left, and then so a couple YouTube videos. So let's check these out.
Oh, the YouTube videos.
Time travel. There is a theory that you can go backwards in time. Now, in 1935, it was Einstein himself who postulated the existence of wormholes. If I have two universes parallel to each other and I create a bridge between these two universes, then you fall into one and go into the other. And in quantum mechanics, there's something called the many worlds theory, that every time a measurement is made, the universe splits in half and keeps on splitting every time there's an observation being made. And so maybe when you go backwards in time, the river of time forks into two rivers. If you go backwards in time to save Abraham Lincoln from being assassinated at the Ford Theater, you've saved somebody else's Abraham Lincoln. Your Abraham Lincoln in your river of time died with an assassin's bullet. That cannot be changed. But the river of time splits and forks, and you've saved another universe's Abraham Lincoln from being assassinated. That is what we physicists think is a possible resolution of all time travel paradoxes. The river of time forks.
When you got Dr. Kaku talking about that shit, that guy, God, I would not want to be high around that guy. He would just blow your. I mean, he blows my mind sober. I couldn't even imagine. I'd like to have a drink with him and just go, "What's the craziest shit that's in that head? Tell me some crazy shit." I'm sure he. Could you imagine getting him high though? And he's like, "Oh, you want to hear some crazy shit? I got some crazy shit for you." Oh man, this is the shit I won't say on TV. I'd be like, "Oh my god, hold on, let me get my phone out." I did find the conspiracy iceberg, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm excited. There's some there's some crazy shit on there. We'll pull a couple from each of the layers.
This real-life story is what the hit TV series Stranger Things was based on. Did you know that Stranger Things was originally supposed to be called Montauk? Or that real experiments were conducted at Camp Hero or Montauk Air Force Station in Montauk, New York? Stories about the Montauk Project have circulated since the 80s, after residents started reporting strange dreams and headaches after a giant radar array was set up at the facility. According to a whistleblower, Preston Nichols, the facility was set up to explore psychological warfare techniques, which included teleportation, mind control, and time travel. However, it was only after the success of the 1943 Philadelphia experiment Preston claimed that a real doorway to another dimension was opened up, and something else, or someone else, came through. This eventually caused the place to be shut down. That is why it is said that
The Philadelphia experiment got brought up. The Montauk Project. That's some shit. That's where we're talking about the conspiracy theory about the government involved in like the men who stare at goats type shit. You know what I mean? But that's true. Stranger Things was supposed to be called Montauk, from what I understand, and it's largely inspired by the Montauk Project.
Yeah, they recreated the facility a little bit.
Dutch says, "I got some crazy questions I hold back. They require a rabbit hole upon a rabbit hole. It's close to this."
I don't doubt it, Dutch.
I don't either. All right, let's we'll end the show today talking about the conspiracy iceberg a little bit. But let's get into these last two time travel videos. One's 3 minutes and the other is, I forget, but it's not too long. It might be 8 minutes or something like that. But this will give you guys a little bit. I tried to find a video that basically condensed a lot of the shit that I kept hearing over and over again. And this is one of the ones that I thought fit the bill, just to give you an idea of some of the science behind this. I think that's what this is, and a little bit of the conspiracy, I think. Let me play this. Here's that John guy, Dutch.
Am I crazy, or is there no sound? Hello?
Hello? What? What's up? Can you hear me?
I was like, am I crazy, or is there no sound?
Oh, you have no sound?
There's no sound off this video.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, hold on. My bad, guys. I have sound.
I'm like, I was like, oh my god, I had a stroke in the time I was scratching my head.
Hold on, something's not right here. Let me try this again. My bad, fellas. Let me try this again. That was weird.
Don't you ever scare me like that.
John Titor claims to be a
Can you hear it
time traveler
now?
from the year 2036. And his time machine kind of looks like a certain DeLorean, whose parts you can
I know Dutch has
actually
mentioned
buy.
this John
He's
Titor
awesome. Kevin
guy
here.
before.
This is Mindblow, Time Travel Edition. This is a real time machine, sort of. Dr. Ronald Mallett's time machine is a spiral of incredibly powerful lasers, and he wishes to send a particle down it on a space-time altering ride into the past. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out yet, and no visitors from the future have arrived. Isaac Newton thought time was like an arrow flying in a straight line. Albert Einstein, however, thought of it like a river flowing around stars, speeding up and
You guys getting sound in the chat? Let me know, please.
the rate at which time passes depends on how fast you're going. So someone orbiting the Earth at the speed of light would actually alter time-space, and when they return to Earth, they will be in the future. His theory was right. Satellites orbiting the Earth actually have to alter their clocks to synchronize with Earth time because of this scientific fact. Check out this clock example. Hold it still and the clock ticks at a normal pace. Move the clock and the ticks take longer. Therefore, if you were in a ship aboard the green orb, your space-time would be different from the time of the guy holding the clock. Unfortunately, we can't go nearly fast enough in spaceships to make a noticeable time change. But we could hop a ride on the Black Hole Express. Spinning us at incredible speed like this coffee spins this bean, we'd surely end up in a different time. But no one seems to have a black hole handy, so instead Stephen Hawking has worms. Wormholes to be exact. These are tunnels connecting massive distances by bending space-time. Like two holes on a piece of paper being folded together. Wormholes exist in a teeny tiny place called quantum foam, and we have no idea how to enlarge them enough for a human to pass through, let alone a TARDIS. The grandfather paradox arises when you travel into the past and kill your grandfather, thereby never being born and never being able to travel into the past to kill your grandfather. David Deutsch believes parallel universes exist, so you could go back in time to an alternate world without affecting the one you came from. In which case, you could go back and shoot a dinosaur in the face and your grandpa will be fine. Finally, to check out an iconic time-traveling show, watch the new season premiere of Doctor Who, Saturday, April 23rd at 9/8 Central on BBC America. I'm going to leave you with a riddle.
Yeah, the Futurama theory, where Fry is his own grandpa.
My wife loves Futurama.
It's a good time.
So yeah, I thought it was interesting when they were talking about the sponge, like the super small, like so small that they do have wormholes, but they're so small that we don't know how to enlarge them.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Let's not forget about CERN and the Large Hadron Collider that they're fucking with. That in case you got like, I know I've talked to people and they pretend like they know. I'm not saying I'm pretending like I know about it, but when you explain it to them what they're doing and they're slamming particles together, it's kind of like, oh, cool. And it's like, no, they have a 17-mile long track that they take these things to speed them up and slam them into each other. Now, apparently, according to people that work at CERN, there's nothing to worry about because even if we did create a black hole, it would be so small it would probably just disintegrate into particles. I'm just like, are you sure? Like, man, yeah, Matt, or
it just slowly eats the Earth.
You erase us from existence. I mean, that's not something I'm willing to gamble with. But definitely the alternate dimension shit blows my mind. There's another world, Matt, where I'm you and you're me. So congratulations.
You're the one dropping sick facts.
Congratulations. But I know Rogan's talked about it on his podcast many times where you think about infinity, never ending. That means it is entirely possible that there's another situation just like this where we have a podcast. It's called Talking Paranormal, but it's not us. It's some other Matt and Chris in another distant, beyond the realm of comprehension, distant universe that's just like this one.
Dutch, I see your question. I just don't know anything about it. I gotta look into it.
You don't know anything about the Anunnaki, dude?
I guarantee you I probably do. I'm focused on time travel right now.
All right. I just realized what we're dealing with here, folks. Matt is at the top of the iceberg. He's just chilling on the surface. We haven't even peeked under the water yet for Matt. Oh man. Oh, that excites me that you don't know about the Anunnaki, dude.
Hold on.
You have Chariots of the Gods.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm sure I know something about it.
Eric Von Daniken.
I'm just focused on time travel.
Ancient Sumeria. The Sumerians. The
Yeah.
Sumerian tablets.
Yeah,
Come on.
I believe like
the
this.
10th
Yeah,
planet.
we've talked about this.
10th planet. Yeah. The
We've
Anunnaki,
talked about
dude.
this.
The Anunnaki. I know Dutch can be a little confusing sometimes because he can't spell, but that's okay. we forgive him. You want to take one more time travel video, and then we'll put on our snorkels and get below this iceberg. I cannot guarantee that it won't be a train wreck, but I would love to cover some of those topics eventually. Okay, this one I haven't watched this one. Apparently it talks about the government and some of their secret programs. So I'm a little excited to see what they could be talking about. So let's check this one out.
What do you want? Want a job that I don't hate.
Me too, dude.
If there's one thing in all of science that would truly change the world if or when it gets invented, what would it be? There are a few big contenders, including interstellar travel, biotech for immortality, or a limitless energy supply. But for many, the true holy grail remains the same. We want the ability to break through the fourth dimension, access another plane of existence, and travel in time. It's not too much to ask, is it? But this is unveiled, and today we're answering the extraordinary question, is the government
Turned up a hair, Chris.
From the public? Do you need the big questions answered? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more thought-provoking content?
Perfect.
Who here hasn't seen a time travel movie before? Or read a time travel novel? Everyone knows the basics by now, wherein humanity invents some way of manipulating temporal reality to enable one person or many people to zap backwards and forwards in time, to the past and to the future. One moment they're having breakfast with a velociraptor, and the next they're test driving a flying car with an AI companion 10 feet above the surface of a different planet somewhere. From one extreme to the other, in the stories, it's usually a wild, unpredictable, but exciting way to live. Of course, in our mind's eye, not all time travel is the same. Most variations of it involve a time machine or portal of some kind. But these come in all shapes, sizes, and states of matter. There are predicted limitations, too, including that the traveler might only be able to travel around in a time after the time machine was invented. Or for backwards time travel, they might only be able to return to the moments within their own lifetime. Let's hope that if and when it does come, time travel will be as free as possible. Although, according to some, that hope has already evaporated and it's already under lock and key. Here are some of the more spectacular claims that time travel already exists. It's just that we're not supposed to know about it. First, there's the fabled Montauk Project, one of the leading time travel conspiracy theories out there. Really, though, Montauk covers most conspiracy bases, as there are also claims branching from it of alleged links to first contact with aliens, mind control, human experiments, and faked moon landings. The claims center on Montauk Air Force Base, otherwise known as Camp Hero on Long Island, New York, which theorists insist is actually a U.S. national hub for top-secret government activity. Word-of-mouth stories started up in the early 1980s, but most of the details track back to a book series started in 1992, The Montauk Project, Experiments in Time, by Preston B. Nichols and Peter Moon. The books, which are usually categorized as science fiction, chart the supposed beginnings of Project Montauk as primarily a weapons development drive in the 1970s. At the heart of the facility, though, a kind of hole in reality, a tear in space-time, was allegedly opened up. A portal through which experimenters could step and supposedly visit anywhere in time and space. In the books, it's dubbed the Time Tunnel, and it's pitched as a two-way thing, with it possible for extraterrestrial beings to visit us through the tunnel as well. To date, the time tunnel hasn't actually been discovered or revealed to the public, but there have been multiple claims made towards some kind of shady interdimensional goings-on happening on the site. In recent times, camp hero famously served as the inspiration for the TV series Stranger Things. There's more than just Montauk, though. Another major time travel cover-up claim centers on Project Pegasus, another allegedly top-secret U.S. initiative, this time ranging across the late 1960s to the early 1980s. The loudest and best-known voice within this conspiracy theory is probably the U.S. public figure Andrew Basiago, who has repeatedly claimed to have been involved in the project as a time travel test subject. In various news and TV interviews, Basiago has said that he was sent back to the moment of President Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address back in 1863. According to Basiago, there's even photographic evidence to prove that he was there. The exact nature of Project Pegasus time travel is a little ambiguous, but Basiago implies that it involved creating a holographic representation of the time and place you wanted to visit, manipulating a kind of plasma gateway, and then stepping through that to arrive at the destination. The facility, said to have been stationed in New Jersey, was allegedly run by the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. But it gets weirder still, because Basiago also claims to have been involved in another trip, and this time to Mars. According to him, he and several others were ported to the Red Planet in the early 1980s on a series of reconnaissance-type missions to scope out our celestial neighbor. But finally, and as part of what's surely one of the most bizarre conspiracy claims of recent times, Basiago also alleges that former U.S. President Barack Obama was part of the same time-traveling team as well. That's right. According to him, Obama was a time traveler even before he was a politician. Needless to say, the White House has denied the story. And again, there's almost nothing beyond Basiago's accounts to prove that Project Pegasus ever took place. Finally, in the murky world of time travel cover-up, it isn't only the American government that's implicated. Other countries that allegedly have or are experimenting with time travel tech include the UK, the Vatican City, and China. In the UK, there's the case of the man from 2365, wherein an anonymous, reportedly former British government employee claims to have been sent to the future on a mission to learn more about it. Reports emerged in 2018 of his spectacular adventure, during which he supposedly beamed to the top of a New Age skyscraper. He also says that he saw flying cars and that humans of the future were living alongside robots and seemingly other potential alien species. Naturally, there has been no move by the government to confirm the story, but the man from 2365 says that time travel does become public knowledge in the year 2028. So mark your calendars. In the Vatican City, there have long been rumors of a very peculiar time travel device that's allegedly hidden away in history, the chronovisor. The big reveal this time came in 2002 when a book...
See, I've heard of that, but I thought it was called the chronoscope. It's supposed to be, I think this is where they're going, it's supposed to be a device that can look into the past. Like, I heard a story where they watched Jesus get crucified and they looked back at some shit. So I'm wondering if that's where this is going. That could be an episode all in itself.
Yeah.
Appropriately titled The New Mystery of the Vatican by Father Francois Brune, revealed details of a contraption supposedly used to view past events. It said that it was built in and around the 1950s and 60s by a team of the world's best scientists, led by a one Father Pellegrino Ernetti. According to various claims, the chronovisor worked a little like a television. Only what you saw on its screen wasn't a reproduction or a recording, it was the real thing. Ernetti even said that he had used the chronovisor sometime in the mid-20th century to view the crucifixion of Jesus Christ as it happened. Ultimately, and unfortunately for anyone seeking irrefutable evidence that time travel exists, it's claimed that the machine was dismantled before the end of the century as a matter of security. And lastly, time travel rumors have in recent times emerged out of China too. Most notably in February 2021, when a bizarre story briefly broke across the internet involving a leaked PowerPoint document. The document in question seemingly revealed private plans for a space-time tunnel, a technology that, if it did exist, would enable the user to manipulate time in a number of ways. Significantly, though, and according to the reports, the PowerPoint also suggested that while the tunnel was a private enterprise, there could be research links between it and the Chinese Academy of Sciences, a state organization. Following up, it was next reported that the Chinese Academy of Sciences had promptly released an official statement labeling the story as untrue. and the initial interest on social media died down as all signs pointed to it being a hoax. But what's your opinion on this and the others featured in this video? Projects Montauk and Pegasus certainly rank amongst the most infamous alleged government time travel experiments. But could the United States really be hiding such mind-blowing technology?
Yes.
And there's the man from 2365,
Yeah.
who's really one of many smaller-scale time travel claimants out there. Plus, the chronovisor, which, if the claims are true, take time travel to the heart of the Catholic Church. Importantly, there's so far been nothing by way of solid, incontestable evidence that any of these examples really do represent a cover-up. But the stories behind them have certainly stirred the debate. And those are some of the leading ideas on how the government could be hiding time travel from the public. What do you
Could you imagine if the Catholic Church looked back and they saw Jesus get crucified and they're like, oh shit, he really dead. He ain't coming back from that. Oh man, that would be so bad. Oh, and they're like, wait a second, he didn't come back to life and move the rock and shit and fly out? Like, oh man. Oh, that would be so bad. Yeah, destroy it.
Well, what was it? British scientists or mathematicians, I can't remember if it's World War I or World War II, built a machine to crack the code that the Germans were using. And then the day after the war ended, they had to dismantle it so that there would never be proof of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what it was called?
I don't remember. I just watched a movie on it. It had Cumberbatch in it. It was a good movie. It was
Really?
Mhm.
I didn't know this was wow. Breaking code. What do you mean?
like they had a code machine that they would use to generate codes, and they would use that to send coded messages, and they couldn't.
Oh,
No, gosh, what was it?
figure
Hold
it
on,
out.
give me 2 seconds.
The chronovisor, though. Could you imagine? God, just finding out all sorts of shit. Like, as it turns out, there was no snake. Eve just wanted to eat a damn apple. She got us into this mess. Could you imagine? Oh man.
The Imitation Game
The Imitation Game. Interesting.
came out 8 years ago.
You know, Dutch, religion is, gosh, how can the religion, gosh, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. How can the religion that has its own city, right, be involved in one of the biggest pedophilia scandals on the planet? I mean, come on, what the fuck is going on? I mean, you know, I'm all for faith. I'm not really a religious guy. I believe there's something after death. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be judged. I don't know if there's I just don't know. I don't know. I feel, especially when it comes to the Bible, because the book's been rewritten so many times. I don't know. I would like to do I think I've talked about this before. When I was younger, I did a lot of research on whether Christ was a real person or not. As it turns out, I think he was a real person. Now, whether or not he was turning water into wine and walking on water and all that shit, I'm not quite sure. But it's definitely an interesting topic. Much like there's a lot of conspiracies involving religion, man. God, there's some of the worst atrocities on the planet because of religion. It's insane. But prehistoric RMI machine. Scott, I think what like when you're talking about opening portals and, you know, black holes and shit like that.
And how are you supposed to know that world isn't? That's just not a Tuesday for them.
Yeah. Well, it's been said before many times. Hey, we might be able to open these doors, but if it takes so long for us to learn how to open them, how long do you think it's going to take for us to learn how to close them before we're destroyed? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, who the hell knows? They could have opened something and something could have already came through. You never know. Like, I don't put it past the government. I don't put it past, I mean, shit, dude. How long have we been talking about UFOs and the government's been denying it? And how long have UAPs been seen in the skies? Government's been denying it. And just now, during the pandemic, They're like, oh yeah, here's some videos. Yeah, turns out we don't know what they are. Sorry. Like, I don't know.
Our bad for calling y'all crazy.
Yeah, our bad for lying. That was our first time. We don't really lie. We don't like to do that. We don't like secrets. Fuck, get the fuck out of here. Crazy. But let's see. We're at a hour and 10. What did I say we were going to talk about? Oh yeah, the conspiracy iceberg. Let me see if I can bring this up. Some of this shit, I'm like, wow, I don't even know what that is. So we'll start at the top. I'll be surprised if you guys know what some of this stuff is, because I'm lost. Let me see here if I can share the screen. I say, let me see if I can share the screen like I haven't done it 30 times today. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Here it is. This is the mega conspiracy theories iceberg. Okay. Now it's funny because some of this stuff could be offensive, so I just want to warn you guys. Like this one right here that says Jew conspiracies. I have no problems with Jews. I just want to say that right now. I don't know what that's all about. But you got fake news, Big Pharma, Atlantis, Nostradamus. We just talked about this guy, the I-70 killer, the moon landing, flat earth, GMOs, climate denial, Pizzagate, Satanism, Red Squads, Bilderberg. Some of this stuff is spelled wrong. CIA selling drugs, obviously. The Fermi paradox. I feel like I've heard about that. Brain washing. I'm sure they meant washing. The Secret, the Ouija board, reptilians, UFOs, vaccines, orbs. Where the hell is Bigfoot? Epstein. If Epstein's on here and I don't see Bigfoot, I'm going to get pissed. Or did they lump them all in one? The Mandingo effect.
Ain't no party like a Mandingo party.
Oh, I think we're thinking of two different effects here. I don't know who wrote this. I just saw this on Reddit, so I apologize. The Mandingo effect. This might be the ultimate troll right here. How are cryptids not even on here? Do you guys see? Oh, there it is right there. There's cryptids.
Cryptids, and then down below there's more. Giants, butterfly effect, ghost girls, skinwalkers.
Fluoride, astral protection, occult knowledge. I'm super interested in occult knowledge. Men in Black. Okay, so we've started Denver Airport, Bloop, whatever the hell that is, Tulpas, the Multiverse, MK Ultra, Freemasons, the Boy in the Box. Interesting. Space is fake. Wow, that's still on the surface of the iceberg. What is below the surface? Okay, let's start looking into this. Is crazy. So you got clown sightings down there. What the? My red is not your red. What, vampires. Okay, so we've already gone underneath the surface, Matt. Bohemian Grove. I thought that said Rocco's ballsack for a second. I don't know what Rocco's basilisk is.
Basilisk is a poisonous snake from ancient legend.
Oh, okay. Lost Civilizations. Yep, been there. KKK founded by governments. This could very well be.
Considering it was founded in a time when, you know what, we're not even getting to that right now.
Okay, let's go. So we're at level 3. Let's go down. So we've already touched on some things in level 3. Hitler escaped inside the earth. This is level 4. The Beacon of Hate. That's crazy. Feral children. We've talked about feral humans a little bit.
Yeah, we have.
Black Pope prophecy. The Oz factor. Dolphin intelligence. Sinkholes. Tataria. There we are.
Yeah.
Hey, we just talked about this guy too. Oh my God. We're getting deep, dude. So we've gotten a little bit deep. We've gone in a little bit. Come down a little bit more. Saturn rings, states of reality, hollow earth. There it is. So we've gone pretty deep. The Last Thursday.
Thunderbird.
Yep. Sea people. Disneyland secret tunnels. Interesting. Quantum jumping. Numerology. We've mentioned that a couple times, I'm pretty sure. Interesting. Operation Paperclip. There it is.
You're like, you've only been at the surface.
Shit, I was wrong. Phantom kangaroos. Hold on. Look at this. Phantom kangaroos. Hey, guys in Australia, how come you haven't mentioned the fucking phantom kangaroos yet?
Because they're too busy laughing at our asses.
My God.
Believing them about the demon bear.
Jesus. Monsanto, Comic-Con child recruitment. What? Meat showers. What the fuck is that? Asian blood types, Civil War sightings, cave dweller Holocaust, girl and her horse. I don't know. North Korea equals utopia. Grand unified conspiracy theory. That one I'm interested in. Tartarian language, bunkers in Mars. Okay, so now we're starting to get into shit we haven't talked about yet. Going even deeper here. 2006 volleyball incident. What the fuck?
Memphis rap.
North Korea ghost boats. Psychotropic warfare. Human hunting.
We've covered that a little bit.
Oh, they've done it for sure.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, there ain't even no maybe attached to that one. Mad honey. Report from Iron Mountain.
Interdimensional Bigfoot.
Interdimensional Bigfoot. Holy shit. Dwarves Secret Society. Prison planets. We just talked about being a prison planet. Wow. Okay, so going a little bit deeper. Finland doesn't exist. Atom bombs never existed. Jews forced to be in power. Interesting. Aquatic ape theory. AI in a box. Mars slave colonies. Iraqi stargates. SpongeBob defecation incident. What the? Oh man, great electronic conspiracy. Eighth continent. Nazis reincarnated. This is we're getting into the blackness.
One day is not 24 hours.
One day is not 24 hours. Plant intelligence. I think we've talked about plant intelligence a little bit.
We have a little bit.
Animal spying, like the crows.
Yeah.
Pigeons. Pigeons aren't real. Biblical aliens.
Driver killed JFK. We've talked about that.
Hollow universe. What the fuck? Teeth implants at birth.
Tolkien is real. Do they mean Middle Earth is real? Or Tolkien himself? Because I mean that guy was real.
Stab wound penetration. Okay. That's interesting. There, goddamn. Okay, we're going down a little bit further now. Human zoos. Whoa. Michigan blue hell. Maybe Dutch can speak on that. DNA formed in the Big Bang. The man
Japan did 9/11.
Oh man. The sun has changed color. Nano UFOs and giga UFOs. I think I've talked about that. How do we know that UFOs aren't super fucking small? We just can't see them.
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation lifestyle. That's weird. Going down, we got
Big soy. I've talked about soy.
Yes, you have. Real fluoride dangers, iceberg psyops, berry bushes. What the fuck? Some of this stuff is weird. Holy Grail found centuries ago.
Eating food makes you age.
Moon built by aliens. I think we talked about that a little bit. UFOs are atmospheric life forms. Interesting. Okay.
JFK shot himself.
Okay. Nails are sentient. Towel conspiracy. This has to be a troll. Eggless travel. Vacuum wars. This has to be troll. Psyops don't exist. I think this is a psyop. Human immortality. Going down even farther. Water is not from Earth. Inverted universe. Original Earth. The sun is a hole in the sky. Golf rumors. Door dogs. Inside out Earth. The Holy Grail is floating around in lava in the center of the Earth. Stairs in the woods. That's interesting. Have you seen the stairs in the woods? Have you seen
Yeah.
that shit?
Yeah.
That is some creepy shit. I'll say that. Okay, let's move down a little bit farther. We're almost okay. We're second from the bottom. JFK was the driver. God is a shoe. This is a universal blood donors. Chlorine angels. Anti-medicine. Secret gates. Secret human organs. The oceans don't end. That's interesting. The universe ended a long time ago. Life is an unproven theory. Pyramids were discovered. The Amazon rainforest was built. All fiction is true. Great pyramids are in the ocean. That would be something.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah. And the bottom, incorruptible saints. God of the gaps never existed. Oil comes from humans. Her. Pancreas denial. All conspiracies are true. That's a funny one. Hiring a hitman on yourself. Real humans died millions of years ago. God's ego death. There is no conspiracy. God's last wish. Hell.mp4. Don't know what that is. There are 100 billion artificial humans under the Denver airport. Everyone in the world is dead. Everyone in the world is dead. That's twice. That's the first one seen twice. 9/11 happens every year. Hair is a punishment from God. The last truth. The theory of everything. The final understanding. That's got to be a troll. There's a lot of troll shit in there.
There is, but I mean,
there's some interesting stuff that I didn't even think about talking about on the show that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to go ahead and say that some of this shit is bullshit. Obviously, some of this stuff is interesting that it's so deep. Like, I don't know, man. I think some of this shit on the top, like this one right here, I don't know if it's smart to say it on YouTube. This one right here, on the surface, it sounds crazy, ridiculous, and bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you guys right now. Listen to me. Go to bitchute.com. bitchute.com. Okay. There's 2 channels that when I started hearing about this in 2016, I was like, what? And of course, the name just sounds ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So go to BitChute, and I want you to look up 2 creators. Look up, one is named Memory Hold. Look up Memory Hold, and then he's helped do research for another guy that makes independent documentaries called Mouthy Buddha. Okay, they do some videos on this shit. I don't believe in coincidences. There's so much shit that lines up with people in power with this right here. And it also kind of leads in with this. That's pretty crazy. And for those of you that are listening to the show, I don't really want to say these words because they're triggers for
a lot of folks.
I know they're I know they're triggers for I don't care what the people think. If you're not riding with us by now, I don't know what you're doing. But I know that the algorithm may pick up that stuff. So you'll have to watch on Spotify or go on YouTube or Facebook and watch the video. But yeah, the past, several years, I've seen some shit with those 2 where I'm like, oh my God, that's some dark stuff, man. So dark. So I try to stay in the old Area 51 and cryptids.
Yeah.
Shit like that, because that shit gets dark, dude. If that's real, which there's a lot of symbology that's like right in front of our faces and we don't even realize it. It's crazy. But yeah, so I guess I'm going to look into some other conspiracy theory icebergs, because that was just one of them that I pulled from Reddit of all places. So you can only imagine how true that is.
Can't trust the Reddit for nothing.
You can't. So that was time travel. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know if I want time travel to ever be like
I don't necessarily want it to be a thing. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that'll disagree with me, but I don't want it to ever actually be a thing.
Yeah, that would be
unless I got to go back and see what a T-Rex actually looked like.
Yeah, yeah. I think the chrono thing, um, being able to the chronoscope, is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah,
Being able to look and just see. Let
yeah.
me
Not go
just see.
back to interfere. Just see it.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Scott in the chat, yes, you're right on point there. Um, yeah, there's something with that stuff. Something to do with blood and all sorts of just dark shit, man. It's crazy.
Super dark.
It's so dark that I've thought about how we would bring it up on the show without getting banned or getting our shit pulled, and
We
I don't think
can't.
there's a way. There's certain and there's a lot of alleged things, and you got to be careful when you're walking around that stuff. But maybe someday we can do like a private, not public thing where, all right, come into this private chat and we can talk about it. Like, it won't be recorded; it'll be after the cameras are off or something. I don't know.
There you go.
But definitely some crazy stuff. Yeah, the chronoscope to see deceased relatives. Yeah. The history thing for me would be nuts. I mean, to see Jesus crucified, that's got to be traumatic, for some people. I remember a buddy of mine convinced me to go with him to youth group. And if you knew me back then, you would find it hilarious that I actually went with him. And it was when they had a screening of Passion of the Christ. I've never seen so many teenage kids break down sobbing. And one girl,
Bro, that movie was brutal.
it was brutal, but it's a movie, right? And it's definitely, I mean, if it's based on real events, it's obviously tragic that they would do that to a human being or who they thought was a human being. But this one girl, it's like, you're in youth group, right? You know what happened to Jesus. And
Right.
she's sitting there crying, like I'm talking about sobbing, hysterical. And she's like, why are they doing that to Jesus? And me being a smartass, I really wanted to be like, I think we already covered that. I mean, I think we know. But I didn't have the heart to do it. Yeah, man. The conspiracy, that iceberg shit gave me a headache. That is some deep shit. Where are we at here on gosh, the next one was supposed to be about black holes, but I think we're going to skip that one. I don't think we need to cover that so close to time travel.
Nah.
Alternate dimensions was after that. You guys were on a roll with all this shit, so we kind of covered that too. I mean, obviously black holes, what did they say? The nearest one was like 1,600 light years away, so it's kind of hard to do some investigation.
It's far away.
Alternate dimensions. I'm a believer in string theory and different dimensions, so I think we can cover that later on down the road if we want to. Maybe circle back to time travel. Mount Shasta and Lemurians.
Okay.
So, and after that one was supposed to be John Teeter and time travel, so we'll just cross that one off. I think that's done. We got Harp coming up. The Count of Saint Germain, the Immortal Jew. I think that was I think we might want to be careful with that three-letter word these days with Kanye getting crazy. I don't know. I think they might be banning some people for that shit. So let's we'll steer clear of that. Gene decoding, creative society. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't remember when I wrote it. Project Serpo. We'll get to that one. That one's a cool one.
Yeah.
I like the wild shit that you hear about, kind of like the underground military base that lost 3 of his fingers or whatever. Those crazy whistleblower stories where they're like, I was involved in the secret government thing, and you're looking at the guy like, you're out of your mind, dude. But then you're like, but what if you're not? Crystal Skulls, that's a good one. The Bimini Road, yes. Yeah, the pyramids in the ocean or ancient structures in the ocean. That shit fascinates me. I wonder I think we've covered the fact that I at least believe that there was a global flood. And Majestic 12, Nevada Triangle, yeah. These are all good ones. There's also the Alaskan Triangle, don't forget that one. The Bridgewater Triangle. Lots of triangles. Definitely lots of triangles. What was I talking about? I forgot. Sorry,
Triangles.
Before triangle. Oh yeah. A flood, a global flood.
Yeah.
And I think that we lost a lot of shit in the water. And I think if we did some exploration, we might find some interesting stuff down there. Yeah, definitely a global cataclysm. I'm one of the Pangea guys. I think that at one time it used to all be one piece of land, giant cataclysm. But that would I've said this on the show. That would explain if we didn't have crazy technology to travel all over the place to different countries back in the day, then it would have to be a Pangea where it's all one continent, and that's why all those ancient civilizations are so close and have such similar shit.
Yeah.
Because hey, it's like going from city to city here in the United States, and you go, okay, yeah, there's buildings and they look kind of similar, but they're different. You know what I mean? It's like going to Seattle and seeing the Space Needle, and then going to Vegas and seeing the stratosphere. That's kind of like how I feel Pangea was. And then cataclysm, global flood, and land split up. I don't know how long that took, but I imagine it was a while, but I don't know. That would be great to look back in that chronoscope and see what really happened and see what the civilizations were really like back then. That'd be fun. But we've got some stuff to talk about, guys, and we're riding this iceberg. We're riding it. we're gonna see how deep we can go. Here's something I want you guys to prepare. Next week, I want you to come to the show in the chat, and I want you guys to give us a suggestion, each of you, of your craziest conspiracy theory. Matt and I will look into each and every one of them. We'll write them down. So be here next week. Give us your craziest conspiracy that you want to hear us talk about, and we'll cover it at some point in the show.
For sure.
The Amber Room, is that the Nazi thing with all the gold or whatever? I think it is. I Dutch guys, I do want that. I'm looking forward to yours, dude. You better give me the craziest shit.
Correct. That is correct.
God, I'm fucking good. They're gonna lock me up for how good I am.
Well, we talked about it before on the show.
Yeah, we have. I'm just glad, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who knows about this crazy shit. When I talk to other like-minded people, I'm like, sweet. There's a lot of people you just can't talk about crazy shit to without them going, right.
Oh, yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
And they're looking at you like, you have a child? It's like, don't worry about that. Okay. Let's talk about military on Mars. Yes, Dutch. Yeah. You bring us the craziest. Actually, you know what, Dutch? You bring us the craziest one, and we will do some YouTube video. We'll see what you're talking about. Do not let Matt down. Do not let our audience down. And I think that's it, Matt.
I got nothing.
You look a little tired. I'm a little tired too.
Bro, it's been a day. Like, I don't know what kind of crackhead juice my kid was on today, but Jesus Christ. It's like, hey, be nice to the dog. He runs in and like drop kicks him.
My God.
I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah, my daughter was she had a couple weeks there where she was just like, my wife and I were looking at each other like, and my wife works from home. So she's looking at me after 15 minutes on the couch after I get home. She's like, oh, you think you've had it rough? I've been here for 16 hours. And she just, like, you put her down to bed. My wife just goes right to bed, and she's, you just feel the energy, and like the whole house like dip down a little bit because my daughter was on one, dude. She was a psycho.
Bro, yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I think my kid could easily survive Russia. He's got that Russian crackhead energy.
Man, some kids, I think they're like cockroaches. They could survive a nuclear holocaust and still be bouncing off the walls and shit. They're nuts. But I think that's it for this week's episode, guys. Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys are enjoying this show as much as we are. Every week we come here and we have a great time. Everybody in the chat, psychos in the chat. Yeah, man, the things, my daughter's been picking up a lot of weird stuff off TV too. She like says this weird shit, and I'm like, "Where did you get that?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, the TV." So
my kid goes to a Spanish immersion preschool.
Oh yeah,
The Spanglish
in Arkansas.
Yeah, the Spanglish is kicking my hillbilly ass.
Oh really? Oh man, that's funny.
I'm like, what are you saying?
Cállate, puto. He's just talking shit. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Remember, anything is possible, 1000% maybe, and all that other fun stuff.
Have a good night.